see. I was waiting to see if you were. I was gonna work out at the same time, so just for display.
Get like, come on. Also, I can tell she's starting to get into clothes and stuff.
Yeah.
And she's like, I wish my clothes was getting her sooner. And it just clicked to me that she wants her clothes to be here before Wednesday. That girl complimented her pants last week and she didn't know really how to talk back to her.
Yeah, she told me. Yeah. So cute. That's awesome.
We're on to something. Welcome back to the channel, comadre. Today we are doing a bit of a wellness vlog. I'm really excited because I'm going to a spot that's been open in Clarksville now for about a year, if I'm correct on that. And they offer all kinds of holistic therapies. They have facials, massages, lymphatic drainage, all kinds of things. They were running some specials in December, and so I decided that I was just gonna jump in and start with what I was most curious about, which is colon hydrotherapy. Now, if you heard that and you're just like, yes, I'm gonna take you along for the ride and we're gonna see how it is together. Part of why I really wanted to try this anyways is because I struggle with staying regular. And this is despite a lot of the things that I practice. I think a lot of this just tends to be that I was over consuming sugar and over consuming carbs. And I've noticed through the fast that I've been doing today, we are on day 13, that I really was doing a lot of like mindless eating and I wasn't paying attention to it because it was, well, one, mindless, but also I think it just kind of happens when like you are a stay-at-home parent, and if you're not consistent on how you want to nourish your body. I was paying attention that I was having just like a lot of sugar cravings, especially after I'd be breastfeeding or laying the baby down for a nap. Then I'd want to get up and like go grab something quick out of the pantry. It wasn't enough for me to just have like my typical high protein breakfast, because then I'd have this huge gap during the middle of the day, so that by the time I got to dinner, super hungry. I was also consuming a lot of caffeine. So high caffeine, high sugar in like mixed in with the caffeine. I don't think that it makes for a good combination, especially having ADHD as well. Is I was noticing that a lot of my eating also was a need for stimulation, and I was seeking that out through food. And so I'm kind of just hoping that this hydrotherapy will help clean things out. It's also known to just like help revitalize your inner systems. They're gonna put stuff in to help with gut bacteria. We're gonna do a coffee enema as well. And so it's not only gonna clean me out, but just kind of get me started back on a good space, which I feel like I'm already there mentally through the fasting. And I'm really excited about it. I also thought I would take you guys along on some of the other wellness practices that I have going on, and basically just like where I'm at as a whole. I feel super healthy right now. So let's get moving. Okay, first up on our little wellness round is this drink. It's called Arise. I've been loving this for the last year now. What I really like about this is that it gives me energy like a pre-workout, but not like a pre-workout, because you don't have that like extreme overstimulation. It just wakes you up in a much nicer way than coffee would as well. There's not this like I gotta go and get everything done And that's something that I've been noticing through this fast, is just how just how coffee affects me, because I have been drinking caffeine. I've been having my black teas in the morning, and it's just much more gentle. And so I've been drinking this. I like to drink this before I go do my workouts. It also helps with cravings and appetite, and I feel like it's just made this transition for me a lot smoother. Every time I stay consistent with it, I do really well. And so I've gotten back on it, and I'm like, okay, we gotta be drinking this every day. I also like that it has folate and not folic acid. And if you or your children have MTHFR, if you're breastfeeding, that's an important thing to pay attention to. And so I will link this below in the description as well, but I love it. It is a staple for me right now. Here we go.
Diana, you will be feeling a little bit of a pressure change.
Okay.
Okay. That pressure should climb very slowly, might drop a little bit and then start climbing a bit. The drop would be that it actually came up against some resistance and then got past it.
Okay.
Okay. But you are the boss during treatment. Okay. You're going to feel the feel, pressure, and then all of a sudden it's going to be a change to, I gotta go. And that's when you're going to tell me.
Okay.
Okay. I'm also trained on this valve. And so if you get to the yellow, which is 1.5 pounds of pressure, if you get there and you haven't told me to release, which generally doesn't happen, except for the people that are trying to be heroes, usually by the time you get there, you're gonna say release. If you don't, I'm gonna release you there. We're trained to go to the red, but I've been doing this long enough to know that if I let you go to the red, it's probably going to create a little cramping, and we want to avoid cramping if we can. Okay. Just so that you know, the fill is 1/2 pound of pressure, so it's a trickle in. And there's no suction. Once I put you on the release, the fill in the bowel, as well as gravity, will pull that water right out. So it's a gentle fill in and then a release, a gentle fill in, and we will slowly be taking down, any impaction that might be in there, any areas that are, just full.
Okay.
And sometimes it takes 15 minutes, 20 minutes before we see a whole lot. If you're one of those people that's taking care of yourself, which you appear to be, we may see, it much before that. It could happen right away.
Okay.
So I just want to tell you that because it's not uncommon not to see anything for about 15 minutes.
Okay.
The dart comes out, and we are going to insert you to about right there.
Okay.
So if you and I are honest, we have pooped bigger than that. Okay. 7 or 8 seconds. The coffee will send signals through the bowel walls.
Okay.
To the liver. How you feeling? Like you need to release? You good?
Yeah.
Okay. And what will happen is it will, the portal vein into the liver and the gallbladder will soften, allowing toxins to very easily just fall out. And then we'll remove them with the next release. How are you doing with that? Starting to feel it a little bit?
Yeah.
Okay. We're going to take it nice and slow.
We are now back home, and that was an interesting experience. I intentionally left out any of the I would say TMI bits of what was moving through that tube, because that's just gross. We don't need to get into that. I will say that I had roughly about 6 bowel movements doing that hydrotherapy, and so basically like what she was able to tell me was that my body, like my bowels, aren't constricting as they should. Okay, there's a remote in my drawer. And otherwise, everything else looked good. No parasites, no mucus or candida or any of that stuff. So that was really good. So it felt really validating to know that the things that I've been doing for my health have been working. It was something I found that was really interesting that she said was that in different areas, people have different parasites. So she's from California, and she was saying how in California, when she has clients like from Vietnam or Korea or India that travel back and forth, they tend to have different kind of parasites. Something that she's noticed in the South has been that people tend to have more liver flukes here, which I also found really interesting because that has been part of the research that I've been doing for my son with his diabetes, is that I had read an article that talked about the connection between liver flukes and type 1 diabetes. And if you don't know about diabetes, it is an autoimmune response. Basically, your body attacks your pancreas and then you're not able to make any insulin anymore. And anyways, I thought that was really cool. I will say the hydrotherapy was a relatively non-invasive process. There is some discomfort in there with the cramping, but nothing that I would say is just outright super uncomfortable. I felt like the girl that I went to was very well educated. She talked to me throughout the whole process, and it felt really nice to have somebody guiding you through that, especially being my first time. But I felt very well taken care of, and I really like that whenever you're putting your body in somebody else's hands, right? For them to be communicating with you as you're moving through that process. So I think I'm gonna do it again. I feel really good right now. As you guys know, and part of this being a bit of a wellness vlog, I'll say I'm fascinated with the connection between the mind and the your guts, and how your gut health affects so much of your mind. Hi! Yeah. Is he ready?
Yeah, but...
Okay. And so while she was working with me, right, she's pushing on my sides. And so on the left side is where we tend, in the bowel, she started asking me about any sort of anxiety or stress, or what your stress level is at, your depression, because that affects your bowel movements, but also it affects your adrenals on that side. And so that was something that I was paying attention to, how she was moving that, and she was also asking me more about what my stress level is at home, etc. And so that affects how your bowels move. It affects then your adrenal being connected to the gut. So I really am looking forward to diving into some research on that and how those two are connected, and then also getting more informed on what to do about the peristalsis. I think she was saying that, just the constriction of the bowel in order to move everything along better. But yeah, so when I was done, I went and I shot some content. I popped over, being a wellness vlog, an honest one anyways, popped over to Publix and grabbed some donuts for everybody. And now we're back home, and Casey said he's gonna watch some football today, so I think I'm gonna put together some dips and get ready for tonight's dinner. Happy Sunday, friends. We are getting ready to go to church today. I am doing my makeup. I opened up, so I have these two towers on my, what's up, babe?
You send me the recipe for the casserole? I think it might actually work.
Why?
Because they're not cooked already.
So we're getting ready to go to church. I actually was going through my makeup box that I have under the sink, and for one, I need to clean it out There's a lot of stuff in there that's just old that I know I'm not ever going to use. But I did find my Hourglass foundation stick in here, so I'm using that today. And right now I'm like, okay, let me know. You guys also have to do this like double chin thing too to make sure you blend it in right. I'm not just the only one. So I felt so good yesterday after I got home from the hydrotherapy. Okay, I think I'm gonna go ahead and go back under my eyes just like once more. So one thing that we are trying this week to make our lives a little bit easier as we're getting ready for church. So Casey, I don't know why, but okay, so a little bit of backstory. Casey used to be a cook when he was in the Army. And so this is why I find it so funny that he gets so strung out in the kitchen. Like, I don't know where his like stress comes from, because for me in the kitchen, I'm only stressed if the kids are like consistently like underfoot, or not even that. It's like if they want to help me and then they're fighting about helping me, then I'm like, ugh. Or if the dogs all want to hang out in the kitchen and I start tripping all over them. But he will just get like super stressed out. I don't know why. And he just like, can I have some help in here? And I'm like, bro, you used to be a cook in the Army. But also, I will buy groceries like pretty exact for what I need or what I have envisioned. So like when I buy breakfast meats and stuff, like I plan it out for the specific days. And he will go in there on the weekends and like totally not a complaint, because honestly I love when he's home on the weekends that he does all the breakfast cooking. He'll go in and he will like cook for I don't know, he just cooks for like more people than we do. I'll do what I feel, I guess, is an appropriate amount of breakfast meat for the kids, and Casey will just cook up like a whole package of like each thing, and I'm like, bro, you just cooked like $20 worth of breakfast meat right now. And I feel like if you're a mom and you're the one doing the grocery shopping, like you kind of know what I'm talking about. Like just a thing of blueberries is $6 now. Don't even get me started on the raspberries or the blackberries or the strawberries and pine berries and all this stuff. Anyways, back to what I was saying. We're trying now to do a breakfast casserole on Sunday morning, so we can just pop that in and go. We have had a tradition the last 2 Christmases to make Christmas casseroles, and it's just so convenient to just put that in and then go ahead and, you know, make your coffee and start Christmas morning, that I just had a thought that I was like, that would be so much easier on Sunday mornings, given that we're trying to get ourselves like full ready, plus all of the children. I'm really looking forward to today that Viv, I don't know what's happening, guys. I would like to take credit for it, but it's absolutely not me. It's 100% God. But I have been praying for her heart that she will just slowly start to open up and hopefully like see the way that God is working in her life. And you know, this last week she went with me to youth group. I didn't even have to convince her, and mind you, I was having like some pain because like discomfort, because it was looking like I was gonna have another clogged duct, and I wasn't feeling good. And so I was like, hey, if you don't want to go this week, like don't worry. But she's like, no, I was already planning on going. I was like, okay. We got it together and we made it there and we had a good time. And a girl complimented her pants, and I think that just like helped open her up a little bit. And so then she was like, can you buy me some new clothes? I need just a few more shirts and I want this pair of pants. And like my girl's already shopping at Nordstrom, and like on one hand it makes me super proud, and on the other hand I'm like, let's hope she doesn't get into the drunk elephant craze, or else it's over for me. She has been asking me to volunteer at Kid Point, which means that she would be basically getting to serve in the like children's church area while the adults are in church. And she specifically wants to be like in her brother and sister's age group. And so I was like, okay, you're gonna have to take the class. So she's going with us today to church so she can take the class. And it's just nice, like it's seeing, I love how God will show you how he doesn't need you to take the pressure of things, or like the mental load, the stress, like that's all his. All he wants you to do is to be able to see like his glory in all of the things. And I love that. And so with this, it's like the only thing that I need to, or should I say like even want to do about this, is just pray for her heart, and not for her to come to know God the way that I know God, for her to have a relationship with God that is intended for her and for me to support that. But also not be completely, what's the word? Apathetic towards the situation, meaning like not, just not exposing her to church at all, not like none of that, right? Just slowly but surely like bringing that into our lives in the same way that I felt that God was moving in my life too, where I felt like he just didn't pressure a relationship on me. It was just in a very, it was just his divine timing. Anyways, I do find it really cool now that she's 12, she's starting to be more interested in her personal style a bit, taking better care of herself. It's brought to light the ways in which I need to make myself more accessible to her, for her to ask me questions and to just hang out. And also how much, like at 12, you're still very much a child. Very much a child. And that's something that I really appreciate about homeschooling, is that we kind of get to preserve more of that innocence. Like I said, she's not really interested in doing makeup or anything like that. And not to say that these girlies that are into the drunk elephant or like doing get ready with me's and tutorials, like I think that's adorable. I think that that's still another form of play, right? In a sense, they're kind of just playing adults, but I think in a way it also makes me feel a little bit sad for them. So I'm like, girls, I mean, y'all, I was still playing with my Barbies when I was 13. And sometimes it makes me a little bit sad for the things that I was exposed to already by that age. And then thinking of how like my mind was still very much a child, even at 13. But I'm like, y'all, go outside and play. Go use your rollerblades. Like, go be a child. Enjoy that while you still have it, because it is so precious. And I think as adults, maybe we'll have times where we get stuck in this like rat race of trying to accomplish so much in order to give our lives meaning as adults, or to make all the time and effort worth it. Ultimately, we all come back to the space of recognizing just how precious childhood is. And that's something that I love so much about being a stay-at-home mom, is that like we get to preserve the integrity of that for as long as possible. And I also appreciate that I, as a stay-at-home mom, get to witness that and to play my role in that. What is up? That being said, My lips are dry from this weather, my goodness. This influencer, I don't know if you guys follow her, I love Sarai on Instagram, and I love her so much because she's Mexican, and I like to see her content. She's also just gorgeous, and I saw that she had this on one of her reels, and I was like, yes, I like that. And then when I looked up what the fabric was on that, I was like, that's gonna be so soft. We need that. I was looking at my face and I'm thinking, what looks off? It's the mascara. Gosh, let me tell you guys, your eyes are just not the same with that. A nice little coat of mascara. Gotta make sure you put deodorant on when you're wearing wool though, because otherwise you are going to be a sweaty Betty. Oh my gosh, it is so much colder than it looks out here. Holy cow. I should have worn my coat. Wow. We are heading out to church. I just wanted to show you guys the final look. I went ahead and added a red lip that's a little bit smudged apparently. I need to touch that up. Black turtleneck, satin midi skirt with these black knee-high boots. These are from Schutz, I think, Schultz. And yeah. Love you. All right, we are now back home. It's 1:17. Got Dutch Rose, popped over to Publix really quick to grab a couple little snacks and things. Since it's gonna be snowing tonight, tomorrow, I got some things for the s'mores. And it's funny because I ran into a friend and she's like, girl, just make the marshmallows. I'm like, they don't like them. Unfortunately, I feel like there's just some things that your kids just aren't gonna like if they're homemade. Marshmallows is one of them. I don't know if it's like the consistency, maybe I just need to work on it more, but they're just not big fans of the homemade marshmallows unless it's like in a coffee or a hot cocoa. Anyways, so I'm gonna go ahead and get popping around here on some things like laundry, things that are not that glamorous, but they gotta get done. Otherwise they just kind of stack up. I really need to clean the floors, which it's kind of just like one of those things that like I know they're gonna get trashed after all this snow, but it is what it is. And frankly, I really want to take a nap right now. I would love nothing more than to take a nap. So I think what I'm gonna do is throw a load in and lay down for a little bit and kind of figure out what it is that I do want to accomplish today. Because otherwise I'll start on one thing and then just bounce around to everything until I'm just exhausted, and then nothing really gets accomplished. All right, well, I don't even know what time it is right now. I fell into a bit of a TikTok hole there at first, so I forgot to vlog, because then once I was like, we are trapped, we gotta get out of here, I got up and started cleaning and just kind of got into the zone, and then had to lay Oren down, and then just like the back and forth of being a mom. But I'm sitting down right now to go through this makeup box because I think that that's just where I'm at right now, is that I want to go through all of my makeup and just get rid of the stuff that I know I'm not going to wear anymore, and just be done with it. I also want to organize underneath my bathroom sink, and again, just get rid of like products and stuff that you know you just don't need. Okay, my camera battery died, and I guess I forgot to charge my backup. And then I thought I had a backup somewhere, but I don't know where it is. Juice is getting into everything right now, and it's kind of a pain in the butt. Oh my gosh. Let me show you. what I'm working with here. Okay, so this is a makeup box I bought from Ulta a couple years back. I was super excited when I got it because I was like, there's gonna be so much space for stuff in here. And now I'm looking at it and I'm just like, what is this exactly? I'm very much looking forward to cleaning this out. There used to be a time where I would think to myself, like, the more that I have, like, look at how much I have. And then now I'm looking at it and I'm just like, why do you have so much? Why do you have so much? And I'm starting to feel like that about my closet sometimes. Like, I get into these routines where I thrift a lot and then I bring home a lot of stuff that I get really excited about. And through following a couple other accounts on Instagram and some on TikTok even, it's really helped me become more confident in being really specific about what you want your style to be like and then sticking to that when you buy things. And it's funny because it makes me think about just my most recent trip that I bought 2 cardigans. And then I'm looking at it now and I'm just like, is that really what I want my style to be like? And so now that I'm thinking about it, like, that's probably gonna end up back in the back going to Goodwill. But anyways, let's go ahead and tackle this makeup, shall we? I tried a lot of different brow powder things. There is actually a couple of things on here that I'm like, oh, okay, I still wanna use this one. So like this Brow Baby from Morphe, I'm still gonna keep that. This lippy. And so if I have anyone on here that likes makeup or maybe doesn't know where to start with makeup, whatever the case is, let me tell you that if you're gonna start with brands that are less expensive like Morphe or ColourPop or NYX, don't think that just because they're really inexpensive that you need a whole lot of their stuff, because you don't. Pick colors and things that you know that work for your skin, and maybe 1 or 2 things that you want to try when you're feeling a little bit more spicy, which for me tends to be with like red lip is my more spicy. I bought this one, like I remember buying this one from Wet n Wild, but it's so it's called Liquid Catsuit. It's a high shine, and for me this one was just not it. It was sticky and just let me see, this Morphe, I bought this when I think it was the collab that they did with Charli D'Amelio, and it just like this just like did nothing as a blush for me. Trash, basura. Again, another brow product. This stuff just went on so just like sloppy. I don't know what this color is, but it did nothing for my brows. It almost looked gray. Everybody went through their Kylie lip phase, right? Okay, so this is what we're working with underneath the sink. I've done my best to kind of organize this in here, but it truthfully stresses me out. So I know that there's just too much going on in here that doesn't need to be in here, especially with the makeup box in here. And then the Dyson does take a lot of space. I've got like hair curlers and just like random things that I would like to have better organized or better use of the space. I think that if I could find something to get some of my hot tools to stand up better, then I could use this bottom caddy for some other little things in here. There's definitely room for things to just get out. Okay, so we've got lippies in here, lip pencils in this one, which I found turned out really pretty. And then these are a little bit more basic, but you know, mascaras, concealers, brow pencils, eyeliner, things like that. Up here, I've got some of my tallow stuff, some of my little like holistic treatments for like, oh, see, that's exactly what I'm talking about. These are just so tiny, I need to have these more on the edge. So like headache balms, got some in here for sleep, muscle, what's this one? Cramps, I always forget to use that, I need to remember to do that. And then stuffy noses, vitamin C, sparkle. I've got my deodorant down here, backup. We've got the cleanser, healing salve, little wipes and stuff, magnesium butter back here for the kids. On this side, I've got Oren's little toothbrush. I've got some of the powders up here, foundations, and I've got blushes mainly and highlighters, and then down here is like all my rando stuff, so like dry shampoo or toothbrush or toothpaste, just some hair stuff, face spray, just things that are a little bit taller on this end. I should probably, yeah, let's get these guys out so I know for a fact I'm not going to use those. I just ordered these. So I had read that it's better to, or not read. I had seen one of my friends posted that she read or had seen some TikToks about how it's better to use mousse when your hair is still kind of damp and you are using the Dyson Airwrap, and that's gonna help your hair stay. And so I want to try that when I wash my hair tomorrow. So I bought mousse for that. And then I also am trying out the Inner Sense dry shampoo. I'm excited to try this. I really like this brand. I've used them before. I feel like they're really good. And so those two products are from there. I'm very excited. So that's it on the little caddies here. Like I said, I'm getting rid of this. My battery died on my camera, so these things are gonna get put away. I like to keep my Bible verses that I get here, bits of scripture. Down here, I posted up on my Instagram stories, and I brought some of this stuff out because I'm never gonna use it. I just know I'm not gonna use it. There's just no point in keeping it. So I'm setting these aside. I did have some of those random bags back there, but I organized them together and set them aside. I've got my brushes in here that I need to clean out this week, as well as the sponges. So I'm gonna go ahead and set these underneath over here. Unfortunately, the castor oil packs take up a lot of space. And there's not really all that much you can do about that. I just kind of need to have them, but this is all my extra stuff in here, and it's just like random things that you need: castor oil, nail polish remover, brush cleaner, some extra little hair products that I use every once in a while, like blowout hair oils, things like that. And then down here I've got my hair rollers and then just any of my hot tools. All right, friends, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up here since camera battery's already dead. The kids are coming home, they're a little bit cranky, and Oren's about ready to go to sleep. I'm super excited. It was a really, really productive Sunday. I feel really good. We are on track for the next week. Thankfully, tomorrow is Martin Luther King Day and it's snowing, so Casey's gonna be home with us for the next day or so. But yeah, thanks so much for hanging out, and let me know what you thought about the hydrotherapy, about organization, about anything that you saw in this vlog. Make sure you comment below. Check out the links that are gonna be in the description box if there's anything that you're looking for. And otherwise, yeah, see you next time.